Hey guys, this is Kirob speaking, and in today's Little Dev Update we are going to take a look at what is new in Demo Update number 9. And let's just go in the order that we are encountering things in, so let's jump into a single race, and why not the very much altered Sky Race, now currently for debugging purposes in Delua instead of in Helvetia, yes. So we are going to take a look in here. Or is it Helvetia? I think so. Yes. Yes, Helvetian Mountain Classics, of course. So that is a pretty nasty stage. What I'm going to show you and why I changed this is because we have a new tile set, and there are really no mountain races in Delua because there are no mountains in Delua. So simple thing that. But yes, we are working on a new tile set. It seems to be done. Let's jump in here first. Pretty standard stage, yes, and just race it. I want to show you the Steppe Desert tile set. I think it is looking quite nice already, and a nice change to all the others that are, yeah, very green. This one not so much. Look, isn't it pretty? Palm trees, little dry bushes that we already have in the dry tile set. So this is the kind of crossover effect. You don't have, in a not too disparate region of the world, completely different vegetation, of course. So, yes. Also, let's head over to the hills. There we go. You do get rocks in here at pretty low altitudes, which also changes things up a bit. Another little thing that we have added is better spectator variation. So we did have those lying around, but they were just not implemented. So you were seeing the same 6 guys just standing around in various places. Now it's 24 we're choosing between. So here we are in the sky race of the wrong country. And let me show you how it progresses towards higher altitudes. There you see the transition. Just becomes, it's a subtle one. But yeah, more sparse in the grass, lots of rocks, and then we have these highlands here. Different trees, no palm trees up here. Not much vegetation overall, as you would expect from such a very dry place. So it is racing on the moon, basically. Here we get to the very high elevation, and that means basically nothing is left. One thing that I want to show you in this screen is that we have updated not only the recovery mechanics, tweaked the numbers some more, but also what we have done is to change around this graph to make it more obvious what is actually going on. Alright, so our base case. We have 8 energy per turn and no recovery. And as you can see, we've switched the axis here, or the direction of the x-axis. This is where you start. At the start of the race, you have 8 energy per turn, but basically only on your first turn, and then it already is at 7. Then it drops to 6, then to 5. That is not new, this mechanic. It was in there before that the longer you go, the more energy you drain from your rider, the slower you get. But what we have done here is to make it a bit more apparent that is what is going on by making the scale absolute and showing you what is actually happening on an absolute scale, how damn slow you get towards the end. So this is not really acceptable, is it? If you're down there, then you're only riding at 4 energy per turn. Yeah, well, your energy lasts for a long time then, but you're certainly not competitive anymore. Now let's slowly increase recovery, and you see that recovery doubles as a stamina kind of stat. So you see not only is your recovery climbing, but also your stamina is significantly better throughout the stage, and well, if you have maxed out recovery, then you're basically riding at your best or almost your best throughout the stage. What a beautiful race. 100 node length flat. Let's go show the new sprint UI. Alright, I got the peloton all collected right before the finish line, and now let's see what happens. So this is of course reordering everything as normal. I have my super sprinter over there. called Super Sprinter. And now let's see, is there anyone in here who can sprint? Oh yeah, there we have flat 8. It's not the best of competitions here, but yes, let's just lock those guys in and now get across the line at a decent speed. Not too much. We have a whole sprint train up front after all. So, okay, by moving across the line, it went straight from the move mode into the sprinting mode. And as you can see here, it now becomes, well, here you can sprint. Well, this guy can't anymore because he can't increase velocity. There was a change in demo update 8. But we confirm his position, and you see it stays in this mode, but rather moves back into move mode, but the move mode is also sprint mode. So here we have our next rider. Clicking on this will then join him in this group. You can see the little flag marker here, which means that this group has moved beyond the finish line. If a group from this major group, from the peloton, would move short of the line, that group would appear between this group and the finish line marker. So he can pass and add some velocity, of course. Good stuff. And now you see this. While moving, you're already seeing what kind of sprint situation you're moving into when joining these guys. You can see if it's even worth it joining a massive sprinting stack or not, if you have a weak rider who can't sprint anyways, and maybe you decide to save some energy, because it's, yeah, you don't want to move there and then find out that you don't really have any options. So this is what we changed here. Make it more apparent what is actually going on. So now you're joining them here, and no, he can't pass, but he can add a little bit of velocity there. Let's see what happens afterwards. Ooh, look at that. Many stacks forming. Of course, that is rather stupid. But, yeah, extremely stupid to be exact. That is an AI problem, which is why I was saying in the, or well, if you've clicked the video in the news update, all the way at the bottom I'm saying that we are looking into various AI improvements for the next update, which is much needed if you see this kind of behavior. But yes, so you see all the groups that are sprinting lined up as well as their individual velocities. That is very helpful to make appropriate decisions as to where you want to move. And it keeps a bit of an overview of what is actually going on here. This is a massive group sprinting. So my super sprinter now comes to this group and sees lots of noobs. So he just decides to go to the front and increase his velocity by another 2. Yeah, solid win. There you go. Wow, that was a quick finish. That is one more of an advantage that comes with this new UI, and that is that you no longer get this ping-pong effect back and forth between the UI states, because they are now basically the same UI. They fit in the same size, so we don't have to do a window resizing, which cuts out a lot of slack, a lot of waiting time, and just keeps a better overview as well. Beyond that, there have been quite a few important fixes, but also we have finished up tutorial number 8, which now has various helpful markers, as in it's telling you to move to the halfway point, but the game doesn't actually tell you what the halfway point is. Before that was the case, but now it actually does. So yes, you have your usual helpful markers there. They still look a little wonky and like lo-fi, but that is something we are going to probably be able to address in polishing. So yes, resource system is being explained, and there you go, detailed resource preview as well, as you've already seen if you've played this tutorial. A few tweaks have been made so that it plays a little nicer. And what has happened as well is that all the stats of all the riders in the game have been tweaked towards a little bit more recovery, because they previously were quite low, and then we made the recovery changes to to balance the game out a bit better. And then all riders were pretty much on very low recovery. So they are now a little slower, but more powerful in the long run. They have more stamina and better recovery. This is another one of those things. Yes. Where you just one turn. Let me show you. Let me just show you. So this tutorial is now more apparently about how to optimize slipstream for riders that are not the rider who's currently moving. And that is a nuance in the game which is really cool, but very hard to convey. And I hope this tutorial at least attempts this. But let me show you what kind of nuance I'm talking about. So with the move that is the fourth move. So we're just moving there, and then blah blah blah, and we are switching order. We are going up to here. You can tell I've played this a few times. There we go, perfect, yes, there, and blah blah blah, and confirm. And now, this move is what I wanted to show you, because there is so much nuance in this. Okay, hear me out. You have a few options. There's a lot of understanding the game involved here as well. So the game tells you that if you move to here, the resulting slipstream will be 5. Okay. If you move there, the resulting slipstream will be 5. If you move there, the resulting slipstream will be 4. You're like, what? Well, yes, because if you look down here, these nodes are giving you a +3 bonus, +2 bonus, +3 bonus. So everything that is just traversing these nodes will give you a +2 to slipstream. This one only gives you a +1. So as soon as you include a node of this in your move, you will lose 1 slipstream. That is not something that you usually would be thinking about when just playing, but now the new resource panel, which is super handy and now has this little slipstream value attached to the back as well. That is really giving you some deeper tactical insights into how you want to move and how to gain an advantage over many moves. But let's consider these moves. So now we have ruled out moving to there because that is not efficient, right? So this is only 4 slipstream, even though we are moving farther, and this means that we are, well, spending 1 energy. It's not too bad. We could move to here, spending no energy, but this costs 1 more than moving there with our lead-out rider, Pavel, in this case. And why do that if this here, this node, gives you more free movement for the next turn? Alright, now consider this. Why can I say that this is the most efficient move? Simple answer is that these two are equivalent in future movement distance. But this one takes 1 more energy. So why beyond that, if we disregard this? So for Pavel, it is certainly not the most efficient move to move there. But let's say we don't care about Pavel. We only care about the rider that we're currently protecting, which is your rider. Well, your rider is also looking at this move and seeing that this is going to be the most efficient move, because you do get 1 extra free movement, and 1 extra free movement translates into a higher speed. A higher speed across this terrain translates on average into more slipstream, which on average lowers your costs for movement. So that is why this node, this move here, is the most efficient move. All that would probably be possible to explain on a full page of written text. So I just hope that people who have an eye for tactics will eventually figure this out. There's a lot of information in here, but it tries to not bang you on the nose with it like I just did. So yes, I think this is a pretty neat tutorial. So what is coming up next? Well, there will be 1 more demo update. Demo update 10. And then a scary full release of the game. And the demo will continue to exist beyond that. So the full release will be the equivalent of demo update number 11. With this update, we have mostly focused on UI stuff and game mechanics fixes and so on, just to make it all a little smoother. But what becomes more and more apparent as we are fixing all those little smaller issues with UI and game mechanics and balancing a little bit here and there and so on, what becomes more apparent is that the AI has a lot of flaws, which we always knew about, but that becomes more and more the focus. So in the update that you can expect in about 3 weeks from posting this, we are going to mainly focus on AI improvements as well as graphics improvements and polishing up the UI. Yeah, AI is a big thing in this, so we are probably going to spend at least a full week on just AI for this next update. Anyway, I hope that is all good with you, and I hope you're enjoying this update. Let us know how you are experiencing the game so far, and I hope you enjoy, and see you guys next time.